Okay, so we're just continuing with area and perimeter word problems. So here we have a triangle garden. It measures 8.3 meters, 5.6 meters, and 7.8 meters. And how many meters of fence would be required to fence this garden? So we established we are looking at perimeter. We need to add up all three sides to get the perimeter. So therefore 21.7 meters of fence will be required to fence this garden. All right, next here we have a tabletop. It consists of two joined trapezoids as shown in this diagram. What is the total area of this tabletop? Okay, so for this question, a tabletop consists of two joined trapezoids. What's the total area? So we'll figure out the area of one trapezoid and then we'll just multiply by 2 to get the total area. So if we're using, I'll use the second formula here. So 0.5, altitude is 50, base 1 is 90, and then again 0.5, altitude is 50, and base 2 is 60. All right, so we would figure out this part first, figure out this part, and then we would add the two together. Recording. So 2,250 plus 1,500, and that gives me 3,750 centimeters squared. Okay, now remember that was just for one of the trapezoids, so we're going to multiply by 2, and that gives me 7,500 centimeters squared. That is the area of the total of the tabletop. Okay, so next we're looking here at, sometimes in a word problem you may be given either the area or the perimeter of a triangle or a trapezoid, and you'll be asked to find the length of a side, the altitude, or the base. So let's take a look at our first example. So find the altitude of the scalene triangle pictured below if its area is 30 centimeters squared and the base is 12 centimeters. And we need to figure out the altitude. All right, so we know our formula for a triangle. The area of a triangle is 0.5 AB. So what we have to do now is substitute everything we know and then solve for A, for its altitude. So we know the area is 30. 0.5. A is what we're trying to solve for, and we know B is 12 centimeters. All right, so on our right-hand side, we can multiply 0.5 times 12. That gives me 6, and then we have A. So it looks like a type 1 equation now. We're just solving for A, so we're just going to divide by 6 on both sides, and that'll give me our answer for A. So 30 divided by 6, which is 5 centimeters, is equal to A. All right, so there's our answer for altitude. Our altitude is 5 centimeters. Okay, let's take a look at our second example that has to do with a trapezoid. Find the length of the top base, so B2 of this trapezoid. The area is given to us as 228 meters squared. The altitude is given to us as 12 meters, and our bottom base is also given as 20 meters. So we know our formula for trapezoids, 0.5 AB1 plus 0.5 AB2. All right, we know our area. Our area is 228. 0.5, the altitude is 12, and then B1 is what we're solving for. And then 0.5, altitude is 12, base 2 is 20. All right, so we're just going to simplify this further. 0.5 times 12. I mixed up base 2 and base 1. So we'll just continue. We'll just continue with this being base 2 and this one being base 1. All right, so here we get 6 base 2 plus, we'll multiply all of this out, 0.5 times 12 times 20. That's 120. All right, so now we have 6 B2 plus 120. So we'll subtract the 120 from both sides, just like we did when we were working on algebra. 228 minus 120, that's 108, is equal to 6 base 2. And then we just have to divide by 6 on both sides. And that gives me my answer of 18 meters is equal to base 2. All right, so base 2 there is equal to 18 meters. Okay, so we can use either formula for the trapezoid. So we're given area is 280 meters. So for area, we're going to fill it in as 280. We're just substituting. And then we have 0.5. Altitude is what we're trying to solve for. Base 1 and base 2 were given. It's 10 plus 18. All right, so now all we have to do is solve for A. Everything else we're given. So 280A equals to 0.5. I'm just going to use brackets times A, and then 10 plus 18, which is 28. And it's all being multiplied together. So 280, 0.5 times 28, that's 14. And then we have the A. So now we're just solving for A. We're just going to divide by 14 on both sides, just like when we're solving for those algebraic equations. And so therefore A is equal to 280 divided by 14, which is 20 meters. All right, if you use the other formula, the other trapezoid formula, that's fine as well. So 280 is equal to 0.5 A, and then base 1 is 18, plus 0.5 A, base 2 is 10. All right, so then we would just multiply 0.5 times 18, that gives me 9A, and then here 0.5 times 10, that gives me 5A. So these two we can combine together because they're like terms. So 280 equals 14A, and we're at the exact same step as this one. Now we'll just divide by 14 on both sides, and that leaves me with A is equal to 20 meters. All right, so for the trapezoid, you can use either formula. All right, so I'm going to pause here